everyone, my name is Abhimanyu and I'm a travel content creator based out of Haryana. My work mostly revolves around capturing epic landscapes. I'm also a drone pilot, so I do drone cinematography as well.
I'll have to say curious, expressive, and committed. Curious because I'm always trying to explore the many different ways that I can use watercolor for painting. Expressive because you can actually see the different moods that I have through my artwork posts on Instagram. And committed because I actually paint almost every day.
Short story long, I'm somebody who likes to travel, in fact loves to travel, collect all these quirky stuff, illustrate details and make notes and do all these small things which make travel more interesting.
The three words that would describe me as a person would be, of course, first being creative and enthusiastic and ambitious. Yes.
Words that describe me best: I'm ambitious, very passionate, and hardworking.
Hi, my name is Riya Mohta and I am an independent illustrator and original designer from India. Three words to best describe me would be creative, experimental, and I would say happy.
First question: three words that describe me the best are hookah, I'm extremely vulnerable, and an overthinker.
Instagram, I'm actually a vintage, moody portrait photographer. I focus more on the lighting aspect and the expression characteristic aspect of portraits. If there are three words that are supposed to describe me, they will be I'm not really sure, it's very hard to say. It won't be three different words, it'll probably be a phrase. Perhaps can do better. Yeah, I guess if there's anything that I live by on a very regular daily basis, it's that I can do better. And perhaps those words should describe me better.
My name is Kankana. I am a food blogger, food photographer, and author of my cookbook, Taste of Eastern India.
The three words that would describe me the best would be caring, creative, and adventurous.
So the journey overall has been amazing. I remember starting back in 2016 when it was more about traveling and not so much about capturing the content while doing so. So it was an amazing experience. In the beginning it was more about exploring places and traveling to mountains while being on a budget. I remember I did 6-7 treks in 2016 in just 30,000 rupees. So with time my craft improved, my way of traveling improved, and I think I've learned so much while traveling. And in these last 4-5 years I think I've seen so much stuff and had such an amazing experience.
I've been painting with watercolors since 2018 and it has been such a learning experience. And then eventually I was actually motivated to teach myself. So I started teaching in late 2019 and it has been such a fulfilling experience knowing that I'm able to actually affect other people and allow them to enjoy the art of painting with watercolor.
For a long time I was thinking how to get all of my passions of map making and all these old quirky things together, and that's when the lockdown hit. So on the 25th of March 2020, when India announced a full-scale lockdown, I had a mini eureka moment and I thought, why don't I get everything together in the form of, say, one Instagram page to start with. I call this lockdown experiment Atlas Kida, which is basically one, Atlas is my love for maps. It is also an acronym for art, travel, language and stories. And Kida is, well, just a curiosity worm that is, that is always within me to find out more.
Well, I started my journey in 2020 during the lockdown, and this is precisely 1 year back, realizing the fact that how people were finding it difficult, and especially those who were stuck staying alone, away from their families in some other state or probably some other country, and they couldn't get back home. And so it gave me an idea to help them with some very basic recipes that they could cook for themselves, and something which is readily available in our kitchen, or probably ordered online from the local grocery shops around. So I started to give a twist to a very basic simple recipes. Now, for example, I started doing the live sessions during the lockdown, and my first session was the oats uttapam, and it became a really hit and people loved it. And I got a really good response when people started sharing the pictures with me that, look, hey Manu, I have made these uttapams which you demonstrated online. So that all gave me a great motivation and enthusiasm to make more and more videos, of course with a healthy twist to it, because eating healthy has become a lifestyle for us.
From learning new art forms myself to putting together an actual working business, and also seeing how much happiness people get when they receive my art kits and they create something beautiful for their homes, has been so fulfilling. I don't think I could have asked for anything more out of this journey than the happiness it has brought to other people.
I think my journey has been nothing but amazing. From a 19-year-old girl who was shy enough to put her own stall and sell her own products to now successfully running an e-commerce business, I think it has been an overwhelming experience.
Journey's been very interesting, I would say. Been exposed to a wide variety of Southeast Asia, because I'm actually not from Mumbai. I've lived all my life in Indonesia, and then I moved to Singapore for 6 years, and now I have moved to Mumbai since the past 4 years. So journey's been pretty interesting. The fact that you get to experience the culture of so many countries, you actually kind of use that to help develop the way that you shoot photos. So the fact that I got to explore in Southeast Asia and then explore in Mumbai and get to meet a lot of people, I guess that sort of shapes up your journey to some way or the other. I used to be a landscape portrait. I used to be a landscape and street photographer, and then when I came to Mumbai, I moved into portraits. But you can always see a hint of linear lines and the way that I use the background when I shoot outdoors, that there's just some sort of landscape and street photographer still in me when I shoot portraits as well.
Journey from Bombay to the mountains has been all about being grateful and a whole lot of learning. There are a lot of moments where I question everything, but that is something that all creators go through. Existential crisis is like one thing that is common to everyone, no matter what field of work you are in. And I'm just a tiny speck in this wonderful, wonderful community. So yeah, it has been a lot about learnings.
Amazing. It's really been amazing, and I have learned so much. I have connected with such amazing people who inspires me every day. I've made some really, really good friends who are now my family members, so it's been an amazing journey. There's a lot to learn. There's an endless, possibilities of trying out new flavors, be it cooking or photography. Either way, there is no stopping to learning at all. So it's been an amazing, amazing journey so far.
My journey's been extremely challenging with a lot of ups and downs, but I've learned a lot about hard work and consistency from this.
As of right now, I think I have faced two big hurdles, and the first one was not having a proper mentor. As a creator, I think a mentor really helps you a lot, and a mentor can actually help you in reducing the time. Whatever I have done in like last 4-5 years, I could have achieved and learned all that in less than 2 years if I had better guidance. That I think was one of the many hurdles that I faced. The second one is definitely the pandemic, and as you can see, I am a travel creator, and staying at home for like 7-8 months and not traveling was really difficult phase of my life, because I had no new content, so I had to post about it and see what all can be done. Then as a traveler, I want to move out and I want to see new places and experience other stuff, so that was also a bit tough. Now again I am traveling, but the pandemic is still not over, so I have to travel for work related stuff only. Let's see how it all turns out, and I hope we all come out of this healthy and safe.
I think it would be my fear of speaking to a live audience, because last year I joined a group of 2 other teachers, and we started doing live demonstrations on our Facebook group page. But I'm really, really glad that I took on the challenge because I'm able to teach to a different audience this time.
As an architect, as an artist, I've received a complaint earlier that I'm inconsistent, and this is one of the things that artists always face, because we like to work in spurts of creativity, right? And for the last 400 plus days, I have been sketching one single thing about India and the world every single day. And consistency is something that I've consciously taught myself as an artist and a creator. And it's something that really goes a long way, because when you do something every single day, it creates a lot of impact when you put it all together.
Well, challenging myself with some new and interesting recipes, especially catering to the healthy eating lifestyle norms. And that actually led me, introducing some new brands which are totally new into the market, specifically when they are sustainable and the homegrown brands. So, initially I was really skeptical on, how to influence people in changing their regular eating habits to switching over to some healthy eating lifestyle. But gradually I had seen that people, they really acknowledged the way I was introducing the very basic simple recipes with always a twist on a healthy segment. So they all loved it, and so I don't call it as a hurdle as such.
For me has been to convince people to buy my artsy kit and to trust me that I can teach them these art forms, to ensure that I can keep getting as many students as I possibly can month after month, and keep growing my artsy kit.
I think the biggest hurdle for me would be just be confident about your skills and about your work.
I would say the biggest hurdle that I've overcome is to convince my parents that, hey, you know what, this is probably a viable decision in life to do this for the rest of my life. Took a lot of time. I actually had to, I didn't told my parents that I booked a ticket to Mumbai. And when we were all in India, then they were flying back to Indonesia, and at the airport I told them, oh guys, guess what, I am actually going to Mumbai tomorrow. So I had just sneaked in a Mumbai ticket, and since then I've just been figuring stuff out over here. Still not figured out everything, but guess that's the beauty of this whole thing, that you get to move around and figure things out for yourself.
A major obstacle that I've overcome is to not question my work and my ability in relation to the number of followers I have, or in relation to the engagement and the algorithm of Instagram. I started believing in my work more because of the support that I get. So that's a practice that I do every day. Sit down with myself and constantly remind myself that, hey, it is more than just numbers. Obviously it matters a lot, but sometimes you have to play mind games with yourself in order to keep sane. So I think that's what I'm
speaking. I cannot pick just one. I think when you are in any kind of work culture, there are challenges that keeps coming, and you have to figure out a way to just move past that and get better, or figure out a way to make it better. So there are these challenges that keeps coming. So like, for example, the first 4 years or 5 years when I couldn't earn, but I used to get project and I had to say no because I couldn't work. So that felt bad. But then I got over it, and then with time I had opportunities kept coming, and now I can work. So so that challenge is gone. I photograph at my home in a corner, so I do wish I had a big studio. So should I call it a biggest hurdle? Probably not. Yeah, it's just a challenge, and I just figure out a way to just just move past that and continue creating what you love doing.
I like to think of hurdles as challenges, and I think one of the biggest challenges would be overcoming creative blocks for me.
The best thing about being a creator is I get to travel so much, and since I'm a storyteller, I get the freedom of sharing all those experiences using photos, videos, or texts.
Being able to motivate and inspire others to create as well, because really art offers so many benefits on a spiritual, emotional, mental, physical level. So I actually feel very good that I'm able to share this blessing with other people.
That everybody wants a validation of some sort, but I personally believe that as long as there is one person hooked on to my work, I will continue to create content. More importantly, I'm as a creator, you have to create value to the audience and not just content, and that's what I believe in, and it's been going great.
It's more of a challenge for me each and every day. It's like such a learning experience for me as well, for my influencers, for myself, and doing a lot of research and development, coming up with some new recipes and cocktails along with some healthy drinks what people can make sitting at home.
Every day I go to work, I'm really passionate about art, and I love seeing how art is now becoming a part of people's everyday lives because of my art seeking.
The best part about being a creator is like being able to imagine it and being able to create, like how you can turn a piece of paper into something like.
Part about being a creator is in the name itself. You know, if you're a creator, you're creating, and if there's something that gives you great joy in this world that we live in, it's pretty much that if there's something that you can create, if there's something that you see and that's yours, you own it. You have full ownership of what you have created. It's satisfying, and I think there is nothing that beats the importance of the satisfaction that you get when you know that, hey, you know what, this is my work. So yeah, I guess the best part about being a creator is that you get to create and you get to call things your own.
To be able to do what I love and also somewhat earn out of it. For me, Instagram has been a marketing tool, has been a place where I have gained beautiful relationships, has been a place where now I have a community. Now I have people who have never even met me, but we have such wholesome conversations, and I want to keep it just like that. So I've been doing my work, and Instagram has been a byproduct of that work. Instagram has been a product of friendships, of relationships. So yeah, more or less it's been a positive experience, with the best part being that I do whatever that is that I love, whether it's writing letters, whether it's writing for magazines, whether it's even creating clay earrings. So yeah,
the fact that nobody can keep you in a box, there is no rules, there's no regulations. You can just create any dish you feel like, pick up any flavor, try out a new cuisine, a new recipe. So there is really no boundaries. You can be whatever you feel like, whatever you want to create. It is your creation, so it's not that you're ruled by somebody. So and there is always something new to try, there's always something exciting to try, so it's never a boring day for me.
The best part about being a creator would be the platform that serves as a creative outlet, as well as the benefit of having a lot of creative freedom.
So the best place or experience that I can remember of are two places actually, Spiti Valley and Ladakh. Spiti Valley is more towards the experience and not the photography side. Reason being, Spiti was my first solo trip and I spent 7 days there, and I was really tight on a budget. I remember I did all that stuff in less than 7,000 rupees from Delhi to Delhi, and I hitchhiked in trucks and I walked a lot. So that was an interesting experience for me at that time. The next place, as I mentioned, is Ladakh, and Ladakh for me is more about photography and capturing landscapes. There are so many spots, and I remember I shot like 5-7 amazing time lapses while being there. So yeah, these two are my top places.
Well, all the recipes that I do, they all have a story behind it, and of course, like a special memory attached to it. And I think it goes for everyone, whenever we take, like a small bite from the food what we eat. The spices, the taste is always, brings back the old memories, probably of our mother, our grandmother. We somehow think, oh my god, it's the same taste how my grandmother used to make the same dish. So every food resonates with a very sweet, fond memories which always take us back, and that actually enhances the whole experience of eating food, when you're sitting, or probably like even if you're sitting alone, or if you're there with your friends and your family. And it just starts as a as an ice-breaking session for somebody who is meeting a new person, probably on a date, and you're there in a restaurant, you ordered something, you take a bite, and they're like, oh my god, I was like, I had the same dish probably when I was traveling somewhere. So it just, comes out with a lot of new stories, new memories attached to it. So similarly, the recipes, what I've been doing it on my IG channel. So it is every recipe. I always tend to bring, what I used to cook with my mother in the kitchen, with a small twist to it, and I present it to all my people who loves making my recipes.
Yes, so over the lockdown, I actually did a personal project, photo story, whatever you want to call it. It was a mixed set of content with video and photo. It was a series that I based on the 7 deadly sins and my interpretation of the 7 deadly sins. And so there are 7 different photo sets and 7 different videos, all sort of working on that theme. So if you go a little down my profile and see the posts from perhaps December or January, you can actually see the whole series over there. So this is eyes of 7 models that I worked with that are throughout the grid. So I think that project was very special to me because I built that from scratch, and the interpretation that I had of each of the deadly sins was fascinatingly interesting. So yeah, I guess, yeah.
I think I would write a letter to my to my past self, just because I want the younger me to know that I can start working on what I really want to earlier on. It is okay, and to always listen to my parents, because they have been the most supportive no matter what, and to invest. I have still not started investing. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been reading up on it. To invest early, it will only help.
I didn't feel a lot of difference because I moved to Bay Area, where the food culture is very much like India. So we have a lot of Indian restaurants, we have a lot of Indian stores. I in fact could find few fresh ingredients here more easily as compared to Bangalore. That's where I used to live in India. So I never felt a huge difference. Of course, when I go to the restaurants, the taste is more mellow. It's not as spicy as you would find in India, but then it's also changing now in Bay Area. There's so many Indians, sometimes you wonder how that dish is so spicy. How can somebody eat that? But then, so I didn't really feel a lot of difference. One good thing though is that I could find a lot of different ingredients to try, which I couldn't find back in India. And Bay Area actually has really good produce throughout the year, so that is one of the best part. I really didn't feel a lot of difference when it comes to the culture, when compared to India as to US. Favorite recipe? I don't have one. I cannot pick anything favorite color, favorite food, favorite place. No, I think it keeps changing. There's a long list of recipes that I love, be it prepared by my mom, sometimes restaurants, sometimes I prepare it. So I really don't have one dish that I can pinpoint and say it's my favorite. I just have a huge list of dishes that I like. So no favorite really, yeah. So that's about me.
I've set up my own art studio called Strokes and Hues in Bangalore. So I spend most of my time here painting or teaching art to children. My published book called No Rules to Art is inspired by my students, and I love spending time with children, and I feel that there's so much to learn from them and they really inspire me.